What's poppin', good people of Wave of the World? I am your host, Jacob W.O.T.W, once again, and welcome back to the final episode of Wave of the World for 2020. I am so grateful and so thankful for all of you that tune in and listen, go back and re-listen, even when I be flip-flopping, when I say I'm going to be doing things. I was supposed to do an extra episode for Christmas, but didn't end up working out. Had let the Patreon people know who are watching live. If you'd like to join Patreon, you can for as little as $2 a month. You get bonus content, you get early access, you get live access where sometimes in the middle of an episode y'all don't see it because all y'all see is the edited version. I interact with the Patreon people live while the episode is going on. Ask questions, comments, concerns, queries, all the C's and Q words you can think of, just to say comments and questions. Once again, thank the Patreon people for supporting me, and also anybody that has bought a t-shirt, they got first access and first dibs. Also, anybody that has previously bought a t-shirt or any merch from me in the past, you will be getting a message from moi about the merch that I'm releasing for the 1 year anniversary of the Wave of the World podcast. It is going to be at the end of January. If you've been listening for a while, most of you know that I started this podcast at the beginning of the year. Didn't really think it would really do anything, but we're almost at 6,000 listens across all platforms and almost 2,000 views on YouTube across all videos. So love and thank y'all for all your support. Continue to like, share, subscribe, do all the things. Now let's jump into today's episode. So kind of crazy how the holidays went this year. Y'all know that I'm in Tennessee. I'm close-ish to Nashville, and on Christmas morning, there was a bomb that was detonated by a man that they're identifying as Anthony Quinn Warner. I'm gonna put his picture up so y'all see. And there's a lot of conspiracy going on right now about what all went down, but yeah, this man. There's no real reason that has been let out yet or anybody associated with him at the moment. But pray for the man. If you got any family, pray for that family. And anybody that lost a business or anybody that was harmed in the explosion, whether it be your business or your livelihood. Like I know a couple of servers that used to work at the melting pot that's on Commerce Street, and now they're out of a job, which really sucks. But hopefully y'all can bounce back. I know this really sucks not only does it suck during quarantine, but it also sucks, or not quarantine, but COVID, because let's be real, we're not quarantining. But it does suck, and I pray and hope that y'all have the ability to bounce back in 2021, because this whole year has been about pivot. Speaking about pivoting, so there have been some companies that have required passports for travel and recreation in 2021, but they're not the normal passports that you're thinking of. They are vaccine passports, saying that companies are reportedly working on vaccine passports that will be mandatory if you want to travel in 2021 and do any activity outside of your home. They can be presented to gain entry to concerts, venues, stadiums, movie theaters, offices, and other countries. You can be tested every time you cross a border. You cannot be vaccinated every time you cross a border, which seems like counterproductive to me. Y'all know how how particular I am when it comes to certain things, and this just, I don't know, that seems off, but they're trying to call it the Common Pass, and the purpose of it is to enable safer airline and cross-border traveling by giving both travelers and governments confidence in each traveler's verified COVID-19 status. Wear a mask. It's really not that big a deal. Whether you believe in COVID or not, whether you believe it's killing people or not, wear a mask if you're in public. If you're not in public, then just stay home. And then you don't gotta wear a mask. There are the extremes, which I consider the people who wear the gloves and the face shields or wear masks in their car when they're the only one in the car. That's the extreme for me. And then there's the complete flip coin side of that, where people are, just ignoring it and continuing on with their day-to-day lives. And I get it. It's been a long year. It's about to be March again. And I remember the episode right before COVID hit, or when it first started in the United States, was the bonus episode Happy Women's History Month with Brian Menard, which, now that I reflect on it, it was kind of weird having another male on the podcast for Women's History Month, but that's neither here nor there. But the vaccine passports, I don't know how, what if you get it wherever you go and then you get stuck there? See what I'm saying? Because if you can get tested across any border, but you can't get vaccinated across any border, then what purpose does the passport do? I don't know. That's just me thinking out loud. But what do I know? I ain't got COVID. Speaking more about some COVID talk, so President Trump just today, actually, on December 28th, 2020, he signed the new stimulus package. And those of us holla at your boy, making under $75,000 are going to be getting a $600 stimulus, which is exactly half of what they gave us back in July. Let me tell you what this $600 is. It is change. The last round of stimulus packages that they released, they gave away over $2 million to people who were dead, just because they didn't have record of them dying. $600 is change. And I'm not arguing with it because I am blessed to have had a job throughout this whole process. I've actually gotten a new job through this whole process. And I've been providing content for y'all. I'm just trying to stay busy and stay happy in the house. But if you're one of the people who don't really know what to do, start investing your money. There have been a couple of tips that I've been seeing over the past year since I've been investing. Y'all have seen my graphics that I put up on the screen for y'all. I still really trust Robinhood. I suggest if you haven't gone and created an account already, send me your phone number on Instagram. I will send you the link through Robinhood. You will get a free stock. And I will get a free stock, and then you can start your investing journey. I don't like to brag, but the only way to get other people interested is to show success and progress in what you've done, to get other people interested in what you're doing. And the concept of your money making money doesn't really make sense to a lot of people. Just like Kim Kardashian being famous for being famous doesn't make sense to me, but that whole family does it so well that other people are trying to copy it. Why wouldn't you want your money making money for you when you could just be doing nothing? It just seems like too good a deal to pass up to me. But slide in my DMs with that phone number. I'll send you a free stock, and then I will get one in exchange, and then you'll be able to live better financially. But some of the things that I have been noticing over the past year, tech has been going stupid. Financial tech and automotive tech. Financial tech has to deal with anything that involves the information systems that businesses use to run their operations. So think of a company like Square that processes payments for companies, but they get a percentage, but allow the company to use their platform and everything to process their payments. That shot up whenever COVID first hit and people were using their credit cards a lot. You could still use Square through their online ordering sites. Take Tesla for example. I've told y'all plenty of times to invest in Tesla, and if you haven't listened to me now, I don't know what else to say. You can't pull my arm anymore. Like I'm trying to help you. Tesla is valued at $660 a stock the last time I checked, and that is ridiculous considering that they did a stock split of 4-1 when their stock was at $1,400. So the 600 that it's at now is undervalued to the common eye, as opposed to if they never did the stock split. I'll let you do the math. A lot of money to be made, and yeah, it can be scary, but when has anything ever been easy? Or when have you not been scared to try something new, or been scared whenever you tried something that you were interested in and it not working out? If anything, you just learn. And if you learn by losing, I don't know, like $100, $200, that's really not that big of a deal. You can look at it as a learning opportunity. Other than that, go on about your business. Amazon completely pivoted because they've made the most money off of anybody throughout this whole pandemic. Jeff Bezos divorced his wife and doubled his net worth again. He gave his wife, who came up with the idea of Amazon with him together, two people in a marriage, came up with the idea of Amazon, and he gave her something stupid like $36 billion. And he still had like $34 billion. And by the time this year is over, he's considered the world's first trillionaire. Like, it's just stupid. So why would you not invest in a company like that? Also, Etsy and Nvidia. Don't know a lot about Nvidia, but it's one of the top 200 companies that are progressing in America. They're a healthcare company. I don't like to get too involved in healthcare because it can be a little bit wishy-washy, especially with the COVID stuff going on, but it is something to look into. Pfizer and Moderna are also two other companies that I suggest that you look into. Also Etsy, because a lot of people right now are trying to find ways that they can make things on their own and basically become an entrepreneur, which is what I'm doing. I'm doing the same thing. People were selling their own stuff. Whether it be on Etsy or on Amazon, they're making their own stuff and then selling them. So, a couple little tidbits. I save a lot of my advice for my Patreons. If you want to join, like I said, $2 a month. That's the lowest you can go. But if you want to bless your boy with 10, holla at me. I appreciate you. Now, let's jump into another news topic. So there was a homeless man in the city of Atlanta that rescued 16 animals that were caught in a shelter fire. Keith Walker said, and I quote, "I was nervous as hell, but I'm not gonna lie. I was really scared to go in there with all that smoke. But God put me there to save those animals. If you love a dog, you can love anyone in the world. My dog is my best friend, and I wouldn't be here without him. So I knew how I had to save all those dogs." Shout out to this man, because this is why I've started to open up my heart a little bit more, because there was a time in my life where I was being a little bit greedy, and I I literally would like put my shades on or like look at my phone anytime I would stop at a stoplight or a stop sign and I see a homeless person, just because I had one instance where I didn't like what happened and it turned me off to the rest of the homeless people. So the situation that happened was there was a man that was quote homeless sitting on the side of the road. He had a sign, forgot what the sign said because I was heated about the situation. But this was right when the new iPhone 8 and the Plus came out. No, it's a long time ago, forgive me. I don't judge y'all, y'all don't judge me. This man was texting behind his cardboard box or behind his cardboard sign on the new iPhone, and I could tell the difference because it was just a little bit bigger than the 8, but it was just a little bit bigger than the 7. But I noticed when he went to touch his home button, he was like having trouble with it, and that's when they turn the button from an actual button to the touchpad. I was like, this mother effer has a new phone and he's sitting on the road asking for money. I don't know. I was really turned off by it. So for a while there, I wasn't giving no money to no homeless people. But, stories like these, I hope they brighten up your day. This man has a GoFundMe if you want to look him up. Like I said, his name is Keith Walker. And the GoFundMe is currently at $25,000. So that's amazing. This man can go get an apartment, and praise God that those animals are okay. I love when people can, come together to support each other, no matter what your background is, where you come from, what you're doing. But that to me is beautiful. Speaking about beautiful, now I gotta talk about my baby. So I am going to do best of the best for the Wave of the World podcast. I'm gonna do a Mount Rushmore of my top 4 favorite episodes of this year. And if you agree with me, let me know in the comments. If not, tell me which episodes were your favorite. I'd love to chop it up with y'all. Sometimes I just be saying stuff and I really don't remember what I'm actually saying. But number 1 on the list, and I mean it when I say number 1 because this was the only episode that I actually freestyled. I didn't have a set template out of things that I wanted to talk about, but the first bonus episode, remembering Kobe Bean Bryant, that was the only episode that I've ever freestyled. It meant something to me, even though I said I was gonna do the whole the pause and then shot at the end of the. I know I didn't do it. Charge it to my head, not my heart. But the news of losing Kobe, and to think that was the same year as this, and it's still going on. I guess it still hasn't clicked yet, but. That episode did mean a lot to me. I think I spoke like my true feelings about it. And it's, like I said, it's just crazy seeing that was still 2020 and that's how the year started off. So go back and check out that episode. Number 2 on the list is gonna be episode number 4. Episode number 4 was called Black Boy Flips a Fade. That was the first episode that I introduced the One Gotta Go. Y'all be sending me some funny... I be having some funny conversations about the podcast, but y'all be sending me some funny stuff too. So the One Gotta Go that I did was Disney Channel, Nickelodeon, and Cartoon Network. Don't remember what, like I said, I be saying a lot of stuff, so I really don't remember what I said. But I'm like 90% sure that I got rid of Cartoon Network because Disney Channel has their movies and Nickelodeon has SpongeBob and Fairly Odd Parents. I'm sorry. Um, I'm like 95% sure that I say getting rid of Cartoon Network. And if you don't agree with me, you can take that up with yourself. I also did a story time. I can find it. Alright, I'm just gonna freestyle this one. I'm gonna give y'all a new story time. Since I haven't done it in a long time. There was a time period in my life where now I can like look back at it and laugh, but it was when I was starting to mature. I remember it was around 6th or 7th grade. And this was back when MySpace was popping. And one reason I'm telling this story is because it's about me. If it was about anybody else, I'd get permission to ask first. So I was on top of the world. From 7th grade to like 11th grade, nobody could touch me in my eyes. Now that I'm older, I can self-reflect and I can humble myself a little bit, but there was a time period where I would let, you know how you used to have your top 5 on MySpace or your top 6 or whatever it was. Me and my brother Adam, shout out to Adam, one of the Patreon people. We had God as our friend on MySpace, and he was our first best friend, like our top friend on MySpace, and then I was his second and he was my second, and then the other 4 were interchangeable to me. But I remember giving my password to somebody else. Don't know why, but somebody ended up going through my messages, and this was middle school going into high school, and I still to this day don't remember who I gave my password to, but I ended up getting blackmailed just because I was fooling around with some girl in middle school going into high school, and in middle school it was literally, just the 4 grades, and then in high school it was literally like 6 schools coming together. And I remember getting blackmailed about this girl that I was talking to in 8th grade, going into 9th grade, and this girl told me that she would tell the whole 9th grade class. Now, I don't know what kind of diabolical plan that she had set up to get this across, because nobody knew me except the people that went to my school. So I, in my dumb, how old was I, 11-year-old mind, I was like, you can't do this to me, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to call the police. They're going to come arrest you for, I told her that she would be arrested for impersonating me because she was logged into my MySpace. Now, this is just how my mind worked. I Googled how to get someone arrested. And after my thorough investigation, I found that I made a false claim and couldn't get this girl arrested because I gave her my password, blah, blah, blah. So I just deleted my MySpace. And it was just one of those funny moments that I like look back and think on. Because this was, when was MySpace popping? Like 2007, 2008, maybe 2005. It's just funny to look back. You should do the same with some of your loved ones and your memories. Don't think I'm friends with a girl anymore, but I don't really care. And that's that. Last episode, 2 more. So episode number 4 and Remembering Kobe Bryant, the bonus episode. Those are 2 on my Mount Rushmore. Number 3 is episode 12. Now, this is the only one that's only available on podcast platforms. It's not available on YouTube, solely because your boy forgot to record the Zoom call. But it was a really good meeting with my friend Alexis Clark. Shout out to you, Alexis. One of the best conversation holders that I've ever met in my life, which is why she works at the Tennessean. And just a really good friend. Y'all should definitely go check out that episode if you haven't already. And the last one on the list is going to be episode number 17, which was titled No, It's My Turn to Talk, which I talked about the election. And the highlight of the episode for me was the birds in British Columbia that were caught swearing on camera and then laughing at each other. That to me just sounds like a group of black people. So, also in the episode I talked about the dog face guy on TikTok who was filming himself skateboarding what looked like to be a highway, and now he has a freaking house, a truck, and a deal with Ocean Spray, and that's just ridiculous. He was just vibing and cruising along. Posted the video. It went viral for no reason. He didn't speak. He didn't talk. He didn't sing. Just vibes. And so many people mimicked that video and made funny reactions or impersonated him doing other things, and you just love to see it. Also in that episode, and I stand by this, Carol Baskin definitely killed her husband. That happened so long ago. The Tiger King documentary. That happened at least back in June or July. Did an episode on it. I'm pretty sure it's episode 9 or 10 where I said I'm still the Tiger King. Other than that, those are my top 4. So, Remembering Kobe Bryant. Episode 4, Black Boy Flips a Fade. Episode 12, Linked Up with Alexis. And episode 17, Now It's My Turn to Talk. Let me know what were your top 4 favorite episodes of the Wave of the World podcast. I love to chop it up with y'all. And kind of how I wanted to wrap up this whole episode. We all shared our... if you didn't share, I guess you're just not part of the club. We all shared our Apple or Spotify playlists of what we listen to the most. And I want to thank y'all because I've been listening to over 4 countries and over 26 states, which is ridiculous because I never in a million years would have thought anybody cared what little old Jacob Bodega would have to say, but here I am. But with that in mind, I know what the platforms say, but I want to know what is your theme song for 2020? What is a song that got you through something, a song that boosted your mood, a song that comforted you, whatever the song did for you, I want to know what it is and why. So send me an email, waveoftheworld19@gmail.com, or slide in my DMs, Wave of the World Podcast on Instagram, or just Jacob Bodega. Find me at either one. Mine, I don't care what Spotify says, I think it's hilarious. Mine is definitely Doors Unlocked by Murda Beats, Polo G, and Ty Dolla $ign, because when that song comes on, I don't care what mood I'm in, whether I'm already happy, it boosts the mood. If I'm sad, I listen to it and I'm in a better mood. And if I'm upset, I move across the emotional wheel. And just let me know what your song for 2020 is. It's been a really good episode. It's been a long one, but I thank y'all for tuning in for another episode. Like I said, Patreon people will know about the new merchandise that's coming soon. And if you haven't joined Patreon, please do. I appreciate your support in any way, shape, form, or fashion that you can give it. Until 2021, I appreciate y'all, and I thank y'all. Be safe, and I'll see y'all next year. Thanks for listening. I appreciate all of your support. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, share, and subscribe. You can find me here at Wave of the World Podcast on YouTube. You can also find me on any podcast platform. If you have any questions, thoughts, or suggestions, please send them to waveoftheworld19@gmail.com. And this beat is provided by Terminal Beats.